Hello friends, welcome to all in my YouTube channel. Today I am going to give you a audio video session on very most important point regarding the examination. Before prior to proceed to exam, you need some revision work. So here I am giving that revision type different formulas or revision type uh, material which is very much important for engineering mechanics or applied mechanics subject. So such material I am providing, such type of videos I am providing for all subjects in civil engineering. So first we'll study booster before exam. So before exam you need a revision. This video is also termed as a revision type video. So it is the booster before examination for the subject engineering mechanics or applied mechanics. So what we'll study here? So here we'll study basic fundamental, velocity and projectile motion, friction, force, work, power and energy. So in basic fundamentals we'll study units and measurements, vector and scalar quantity, Newton's laws of motion, friction, rectilinear motion, projectile motion, circular motion and simple harmonic motion. Harmonic motion. Then, so first fundamentals and derived quantities. So it is large number of physical quantities and every quantity needs a unit. Fundamental quantities are only 7 in numbers. These are the fundamental quantities. It is length, mass, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, amount of substance, luminance intensity, and their SI units are meter, kilogram, second, ampere, Kelvin, mole, and candela. So their symbols are small m, kg. Length is symbol of length is unit symbol of unit of length is meter. For mass it is kg. For time it is second. In electric current is ampere A. Thermodynamic temperature it is K. Amount of substance it is mole, and luminous intensity CAD CD. Then special points. There are two supplementary units. First unit plane angle, that is rad, and solid angle standardian standard angle. So there are two systems as we know: CGS, centimeter, gram, and second. This is the CGS system. Mass, centimeter, gram, and second, that is length, mass, time respectively. So force in dyne, work in. Then FPS, that is foot pound second. Foot pound second. So length of unit, length, mass and time are foot, pound and second. So this is, and force is pound. Force is measured in pound. Then SI prefixes. So what is meant by mega? If mega is there, symbol is capital M, power raised to 6, kilo, power raised to 3, centimeter, power raised to -2, millimeter, power raised to -3, -6 micro, -9 10 raised to power -9, it is nano, and for pico, power raised to 10 is 12. Then vector and scalar quantity. So already we have studied any physical quantity is either scalar or vector. So scalar quantity is completely described by its magnitude only. It is mass, volume, density, etc., etc. Vector, a physical quantity, in addition to magnitude it has specified direction. If the quantity is having mass as well as direction, then it is called as the vector quantity. And vector quantity is displacement, velocity, acceleration. Note, electric current in a wire shown by direction, but it is not a vector quantity. So reason, it does not obey the law of parallelogram of vector addition. So if anybody or the quantity which obeys law of parallelogram of addition, so that quantities are called as the vector. What is this law? We'll see later on. Then representation of vector. So vector is represented by capital letter A, and at the top of the letter we are showing this arrow sign, that is called as the bar. A bar. This is the vector A bar. This is vector A bar with angle, with inclination angle. with angle horizontal or vertical. We can show this angle also. And in quadrant system, we are showing vectors in quadrant system. So first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. So we are assuming that. Then the parallelogram law of forces. So parallelogram law of forces, this is the parallelogram, and these are the two vectors, vector A and vector B. This vector is the resultant of these two. So R bar is the resultant of A bar and B bar. So according to parallelogram law, magnitude of R bar is given by R is equal to magnitude of R bar is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Cos theta. This is theta. The theta is the angle between vector A and B. Vector A and B angle. Then if theta is 0 degree, R is equal to A plus B. Put value of cos 0. Then theta is 180 degree. Theta is equal to 180 degree, R is equal to A minus B, which is minimum. If theta is 90 degree, then R is equal to square root of A square plus B square. And its direction, how we are calculating the direction of resultant? Tan alpha is equal to B sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. And tan beta, this is the alpha angle. Alpha angle is angle of resultant with x-axis. And if we want to calculate angle of resultant with y-axis, the formula is tan beta is equal to A sin theta divided by B plus A cos theta. Then the triangle law. So if the tail of one vector be placed at the head of other, their sum R bar is drawn from the tail of end of the first to the head of the other. So this is the vector A in this direction, vector B in this direction. So from this end, tail end of A vector to the head of B, this is called as the R. This is the R bar is equal to A bar plus B bar. So sine rule. This is also called as the sine rule. So sine rule is, it is also Lami's theorem. So force P, force Q and force R. So P is opposite, alpha is opposite angle to force P, beta is opposite angle to force Q, and gamma is opposite angle to force R. So P divided by sine alpha is equal to Q divided by sine beta is equal to R divided by sine gamma. This is called as the sine rule, or this is also called as the Lami's theorem. Then special points. The laws of parallelogram forces cannot be proved theoretically. The triangle law and the polygon law of forces are not fundamental laws. They are only derived laws. So triangle laws and polygon laws are of forces are derived laws only. Then rectilinear motion. So velocity and projectile motion. Rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion means motion in straight path. Rectilinear means straight path. Then distance and displacement. Distance. When a particle is moving, its successive position in general may lie on curve. The curve is then called as the path of the particle. The total length of the path followed by body is called the distance traveled by the body. It is the scalar quantity. It is distance. And displacement. The directional distance between final and initial position of the particle is called as the displacement. So distance, it doesn't have any direction, but displacement, it has a direction. So displacement is a vector quantity and distance is the scalar quantity. Then speed. Speed is the rate at which a moving body describes its path. Path may be curve or straight line. If path is straight line, it is rectilinear motion. If path is curve, it is curvilinear motion. The average speed v is equal to rate of change of time divided by rate of change of displacement divided by time. So delta s divided by delta t. If the interval of time delta t is infinitesimally small, approaching to 0, this ratio is called instantaneous speed. So instantaneous speed is equal to limit. So here it is limit delta t tends to 0, delta s by delta t is equal to ds by dt, and speed is a scalar quantity. So it doesn't require direction for speed. Then velocity. Velocity is rate of change of position. Rate of change of position. So average velocity is equal to v bar is equal to delta r bar divided by delta t. Now also instantaneous velocity is equal to v bar is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta r bar divided by delta t is equal to dr bar by dt. As velocity, it is a vector quantity because it has magnitude as well as direction. Then acceleration. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. So a bar average is equal to delta v bar divided by delta t. So it is the vector quantity because it has both either magnitude or direction. So note, if a body or object moves along straight line without change in direction in a given interval of time, its displacement and distance traveled are equal. Its average speed and velocity are equal. So distance is greater than equal to displacement. Speed is equal to greater than equal to velocity. This is the most important noting points. Then uniform motion. If motion is uniform if velocity is non-zero. Velocity is non-zero, acceleration is 0, and direction and velocity do not change. Then motion is called as the uniform motion. An object moves along a straight line half the time with v1 and rest with v2. So average velocity is equal to v1 plus v2 divided by 2. While moving half distance with v1 and rest with v2, average velocity is equal to 2 v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. Then relative motion. A, B, moving in opposite direction. Relative speed is equal to va plus vb. Second, moving along same direction. Va, Vb, relative speed is equal to Va minus Vb, and it is we are calculating magnitude. That's why this is the magnitude of Va minus Vb. So here resultant motion V1 V2. Here resultant motion V1 V2 in opposite direction. R is equal to Vr is equal to V2 minus V1. Resultant velocity of man is equal to, with respect to ground, is equal to Vr is equal to V1 plus V2. Then equation of motions. So straight line with uniform acceleration. Path is straight path and motion is uniform with uniform acceleration. Equation of motion. V is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square is equal to u square plus twice as. So v is final velocity, small u is initial velocity, is acceleration, t is time, s is the displacement. In given time interval, v bar is equal to initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Displacement is equal to average velocity into time. As we know, velocity is rate of change of displacement. So displacement divided by time. So displacement is equal to average velocity into time. And average velocity is initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. Then important point. Average velocity during first t second is equal to u plus half at. For body starting from rest, u is equal to 0 with uniform acceleration. The ratio of distances covered in t second, 2t second and 3t second, etc. is 1:4:9. 1:4:9. A body starting from rest with uniform acceleration covers distance in the ratio 1:3:5 in consecutive equal interval of time. Distance traversed by the particle in nth second of its motion. Distance traversed by particle in the nth second of its motion, Sn is equal to u plus half a into 2n minus 1. T is n second. Then vertical motion under gravity. Vertical motion. Whenever we consider vertical motion, so there should be a gravitational acceleration force is considered. Here acceleration becomes gravitational acceleration. So first body released from rest, a point object is released from rest from point at height h, time taken to reach ground is equal to square root of 2h divided by g. G is the acceleration due to gravity and h is the height from which the object is released. So velocity with which it strikes to ground is equal to square root of 2gh. Second, body thrown vertically upward. If we throw body vertically upward, a point object is thrown vertically upward with velocity u. Time of second is u divided by g. Time of d second u divided by g, and time of flight is equal to 2u divided by g. V square is equal to u square minus 2gh. V is equal to 0 at highest point because V is equal to 0. Final velocity is 0. Initial velocity is u, small u. So u square is equal to 2gh h max. So h max is equal to u square divided by 2g. So projectile motion. So projectile motion, it is the two-dimensional motion with constant acceleration. Projectile motion with constant acceleration. Projectile motion, it is two-dimensional motion with constant acceleration. So we'll plot as x-axis will take u cos theta, y-axis we take u sin theta. This is component. This is component of velocity. So u is the velocity, upward velocity. This is the projectile motion. If we throw the object in this fashion with initial velocity u, so it will reach maximum height capital H, and then it comes down to the earth. So this is the velocity component. So this is the angle theta with which we have thrown object with velocity, initial velocity u. So x component is u cos theta, y component is u sin theta, and this is the r, distance covered from starting point to at whenever it drops. So ax is equal to acceleration is 0. X is equal to u cos theta divided by horizontal motion plus this is the vertical motion. So ay is equal to minus g. So it is vertical motion. So ux at time t is equal to u cos theta, vy at time t is equal to u sin theta minus gt. So time of flight, the displacement along vertical direction is 0 for the complete flight. So time of flight is s is equal to ut minus half gt square, 0 is equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square, t is equal to 2u sin theta divided by g. This is the time of flight. Then horizontal range r is capital R is equal to ux into t. R is equal to u cos theta into 2u sin theta divided by g. So r is equal to u square sin 2 theta divided by g. Then maximum height capital H at highest point, velocity component equal to 0. V square is equal to u square plus twice as is equal to 0. 0 is equal to u square sin square theta minus 2 gh. So h is equal to u square sin square theta divided by 2g. So resultant velocity v bar is equal to vx into I bar plus vy into j bar. So I bar and j bar are the unit vectors in the direction x and y. So u cos theta I bar plus u sin theta minus gt j bar. So v, magnitude of v is equal to square root of u square cos square theta plus in the bracket u sin theta minus gt bracket square, and tan alpha, its direction, resultant velocity. So velocity require direction. So direction alpha, we are calculating tan alpha is equal to vy divided by vx. Then important point, for maximum range theta is equal to 45 degree. So r max is equal to u square divided by g. We get the same range of alpha and 90 minus alpha, but in both cases maximum height attained by the particle are different. Equation of trajectory. So equation of trajectory is y is equal to x tan theta minus g into x square divided by 2u square cos square theta. Then projectile thrown parallel to the horizontal from the same height. If projectile is thrown parallel to the horizontal, so this way, so where v final velocity, then ux, uy, these are the component of velocity. This is with respect to theta angle with respect to horizontal. So time of flight t, capital T is equal to square root of 2h divided by g. Range r is equal to u into square root of 2h divided by g. Velocity at general point p xy. Velocity at general point p xy. Xy is the coordinates of point. So that point velocity is v is equal to square root of ux square plus vy square. Ux is equal to u and uy is equal to gt downward. So it is downward. Then circular motion. When particle path is circular, so when a particle moves in a plane such that its distance from fixed point remain constant, motion with respect to that fixed point is called as circular motion. So its distance from the fixed point is remains constant. The motion with respect to that fixed point is called as the circular motion. So W average is equal to, so here angular velocity W is equal to W average is equal to average angular velocity. So WAV is equal to angular displacement divided by total time taken. So velocity is displacement divided by time. So angular displacement divided by total time taken. So theta 2 minus theta 1 divided by t2 minus t1. So delta theta divided delta t. Angular displacement is a scalar, but angular velocity is pseudo vector. Pseudo vector means null vector or false vector. So SI unit of angular displacement is radian per second and its dimension is t raised to minus 1. So WAV is equal to 2 pi divided by t. T is the time period. WAV is equal to 2 pi f. F is the frequency. And W average is equal to 2 pi n divided by t. N is the rotations. Then angular acceleration. So figure is like this: tangential force, centrifugal force, then alpha average bar, that is angular acceleration. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. So W2 bar minus W1 bar divided by T2 minus T1 delta W bar divided by delta T. If alpha is equal to 0, motion is called uniform. If alpha is 0, motion is called uniform. So alpha is 0, motion is called uniform. So unit is radian per second square. So dimension is t raised to minus 2. Speed and angular velocity relation. V bar is equal to W bar into R bar. Position with respect to center of circular motion. Centrifugal force Fc. At constant speed, the net force acting on the body is along the inside normal to the path of the body, called centrifugal force. So Fc is equal to MAC. So it is a Newton's law. Mv square divided by R. So is equal to Mw square R. So centrifugal force. It is the magnitude equal to centripetal force. As we know, centripetal, centrifugal, and always directed radially outward. That is the mv square divided by r. When a body is rotating in a circular path and the centripetal force vanishes, body would leave the circular path. If centripetal force is not there, if it becomes to 0, so their body will leave its circular path. Path will not become a circular. So special point. So here special point. So Lamèche's constant. So what is Lamèche constant? Mu is equal to E divided by 2 into 1 plus V. Therefore lambda is equal to EV divided by 1 plus V into bracket 1 minus 2V. So constants which relate stress to strain in an isotropic elastic material. depends upon temperature and material. Lami's constant depends upon temperature and material. Then friction. It comes into play between two surfaces whenever there is a relative motion or tendency of relative motion between them. It opposes to the relative motion between two surfaces in contact. So there are two types of friction, static friction and another one is kinetic friction. Static friction, it acts between surface in contact but not in relative motion, opposes the tendency of relative motion. Kinetic friction, it acts between surface in contact which are in relative motion, it opposes the relative motion between surface. So dynamic friction. So dynamic friction is kinetic friction. It is the friction between surface which acts between the body moves relative to each other. And static friction, body tends to move when force is applied on it. The bodies are not moving relative to each other. Then generally the order of friction forces are, so this is applied force. In x-axis we are taking applied force, y-axis we are taking frictional force. Then this is the static friction, this is limiting friction, and then kinetic friction. So limiting friction force is greater than maximum static friction force is greater than dynamic friction force. So note, coefficient of friction is the ratio of friction force to the normal force which is acting to the normal of frictional force surface. So laws of static friction. Laws of static friction. It is independent of area of contacting surface. Fs max proportional to capital N. So Fs max is equal to mu r into capital N. N is normal reaction. Mu s is the coefficient of static friction. So 0 is less than equal to Fs is less than equal to mu into N. When F exceeds Fs block starts moving. F exceeds Fs block starts moving. And frictional force decreases to a constant value Fk. Fk is kinematic friction. Fk is equal to mu k into N. Mu k is equal to coefficient of kinematic friction. So angle of friction. Angle of friction is the angle made by resultant force with the vertical is known as angle of friction in triangle OAB. Triangle OAB. Angle made by resultant force with the vertical is known as angle of friction in triangle OAB. So tan 90 minus theta is equal to AB divided by OB. Tan 90 minus theta is equal to AB divided by OB. So cot theta is equal to AB divided by OB. Tan theta is equal to OB divided by AB. Theta is equal to tan inverse of into bracket OB divided by AB. OB divided by AB. So force. So Newton's laws of motion. Force, a pull or push. Force means a pull or push which changes or tends to change the state of rest of uniform motion or direct motion of any object is called force. Force is a vector quantity. Its unit is kg meter per second square, that is MK system, in and dyne, and gram centimeter per second square in CGS system. 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. This conversion is very much important. 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. So a pull or push which changes or tends to change the state of rest or uniform motion of or direction of motion of any object is called force. It is vector quantity. Effect of resultant force. Resultant force may change only speed. It may change only direction. It may change both speed and direction. It may change size and shape. So contact force. So contact force is tension, normal reaction, friction forces which act between bodies in contact. Field force, weight, electrostatic force, etc. Forces that act between bodies separated by a distance without any actual contact. So this is field forces. Then contact forces. Tension, when string, thread, wire or spring is held tight, the end of the string pull on whatever bodies are attached to them in the direction of string. This force is known as the tension. So here W is equal to mg is the contact force. Then normal. Normal force is perpendicular to surface. When two surfaces are in contact, then the surface exerts force on each other. Friction, force that acts between bodies in contact with each other. Friction means force that acts between bodies in contact with each other. If two bodies are contact with each other, the force acting between them is friction. Then special points. So here special point from the force chapter, friction chapter. The force whose line of action is lie on the same plane are known as coplanar. If lines of action of force in a system of force meet a point, then these forces are called as the concurrent forces. Concurrent forces and coplanar forces. Then Newton's first law. Each body continues to be in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled by some external force to act otherwise. The Newton's first law leads to the definition of force. Means any body continues to its state of rest or in continuous motion unless it is acted upon by a force. Then example, a bullet fired on a glass window makes a clean hole through it, which a stone breaks the whole of it. Bullet speed is high, large inertia of motion, cut clean hole. The passenger sitting in a bus gets a jerk when the bus starts or stops suddenly. Second law of motion, Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied force. F bar is equal to dp bar divided by dt, or F bar is equal to ma bar, where p bar is equal to mv bar. So third law of motion. An important point regarding the second law, obviously consistent with the first law, F is equal to 0 implies is equal to 0. It is a vector quantity or vector law. It is strictly applicable to a single point mass. The third law of motion, every action has equal and opposite reaction. This is very simple law given by Newton. Every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Rowing boat, hitting wall, walking, jet. Then weighing machine. A weighing machine does not measure the weight but the force exerted by object on its upper surface. Spring balance. It does not measure the weight, measure the force exerted by the object at the hook. Mg minus T is equal to 0, T is equal to Mg. So in the figure I have shown. Then work, power and energy. So work is following two conditions must be satisfied. For work, a force must be applied. Applied force must produce a displacement in direction except perpendicular to the force direction. So W is equal to F into S. It is the dot product of force. It is called as dot product of force, and dot product is scalar quantity. So work is scalar quantity. The tension in the string of a simple pendulum is always perpendicular to displacement. So work done is equal to 0 by tension. So here in the figure I have shown, explained. Then case 1, if theta is equal to 0, cos theta is equal to 1, so work done is maximum. If theta is less than 90 degree, cos theta is positive, so work done will be positive. If theta is equal to 90, cos theta is 0, so work done is 0. If theta is obtuse, cos theta is negative, so work done is negative. Dimension and unit, so its CGS unit is erg and joule or Newton meter. Then 1 erg is equal to 1 dyne into 1 centimeter is equal to 1 gram centimeter raised to minus 2 into centimeter is equal to 1 gram centimeter square second raised to minus 2. So dimension is equal to m into L square into capital T raised to minus 2. So energy, initial capacity of doing work, it is the energy. Energy is nothing but it is the initial capacity to do the work. So to do the work we require some energy. So that is the power. Whatever power we are having, that power is called as the energy. So energy, kinetic energy, internal capacity of doing work of the object by virtue of its motion. So by virtue of its motion, some internal capacity for doing the work is generated in the body or in the object. So that energy is called as the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Ek is equal to p square divided by 2m, where p is momentum. Ek is equal to kinetic energy, E suffix k. Then work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. According to this theorem, the work done by all the forces on a particle is equal to the change in its kinetic energy. So according to work energy theorem, the work done by all the forces on a particle is equal to the change in its kinetic energy. So WC is work done by conservative force plus WNC is the work done by non-conservative forces plus WPS, it is work done by pseudo forces, is equal to delta K, that is the change in kinetic energy. So potential energy. Now potential energy. Potential energy is internal capacity to do work by virtue of its relative motion. Virtue of its relative motion. So gravitational force P, potential energy is equal to mgh. So special points regarding this work energy chapter. Center of gravity of body is the point through which the resultant gravitational force acts. A CG of a body is the point through which the resultant gravitational force acts. Center of gravity applied to the bodies with mass and weight. Centroid is a point in a plane area such that the moment of area about any axis through that point is zero, and the term centroid applied to the plane area. Term centroid is applied to the plane area, and center of gravity is for all the bodies. When a rigid body is taken out in spacecraft, its weight changes. So thank you for watching the video. If you like it, please do share it and subscribe the channel for more such fruitful videos. Today I have prepared a video for booster dose. It is the booster dose. It is the booster prior to the examination for the subject engineering mechanics, and this is also useful for online examinations or MCQ type examination, or it is also useful for competitive examinations also. After this, I am also ready to preparing videos for another subject like this booster type videos, booster videos for other subjects of civil engineering background. So please watch this video carefully. Please keep these videos with you in your mobile phone so that anytime you can watch this, or during the traveling, before, whenever you are going to the exam from your home to your exam destination. So that traveling period you should listen this. You should listen this. So take the advantage, subscribe the channel, and best of luck for your examinations. Thank you for watching the video. If you like it, please do share it and subscribe the channel for more such fruitful videos. We'll meet again.